Tuesday was, hey, pop quiz. I was like,
Oh, when you walked in here.
Yeah.
I was like, so this is Dalton Clark.
Wait
He,
for everybody. Oh, we got one.
good morning.
yep, so one more.
Whichever.
So, what is your guys's biggest fear about real estate? Okay.
Pretty proud, I guess, that no fears at all.
The not knowing enough, like in a situation where somebody, like where an abnormal situation where I don't know enough. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
About like a transaction, something goes wrong.
So that is a legit fear, and that's probably everybody's fear, right? That probably sounds scary to everyone. Making a mistake getting through. Yeah, lawsuits happen a lot less than we think, but a lot more than we think too.
Funny, I was over there, the water, I was back there.
Right answer is getting sued.
Yeah, yeah. So, how to combat that fear and how to build confidence out of that fear is by joining with a brokerage like us, where we have so much leadership, and we really have a pretty brilliant broker, Sean Jenke. I don't think you guys have met him yet.
Couple.
Yeah, and we have Ken Everett. You guys did meet, they did meet on Tuesday. And they've been in the business for so long and they've seen it all. And we have other brokers throughout the office. And then we have a lot of, like, I have my broker license, like a lot of agents here have their broker licenses as well. So we can help you with the situations if you do make a mistake, but the best way would be to just ask us in advance. And we can help you, but we can't always prevent every mistake. Sometimes the mistake is on the other agent's part, or sometimes we didn't read the contract clearly enough, or sometimes we misunderstood some communication. But that's why you have a whole team backing you. And you do pay for insurance. It's called errors and omissions insurance. That does help cover you in the event of a lawsuit. For that, what is your biggest fear, Dalton, in selling real estate?
I mean, legitimately, like I don't need to get tied up in court. That's probably one. Like operational fear, and then of course, anytime you're cold calling or selling or talking with people, you know, nobody loves the feeling of rejection. So that's one for me for sure. Kelly gave me the big speech about SOI and how it's super important, and it only took me 3.25 years to decide to go ahead and start calling my SOI.
And guess what? It worked.
Yeah. I've had the busiest week of my real estate career. Not lying. It's like 8 to 8 every day. 8 to 8, 6 to 8, 6 to 9 every day this week. But I'm gonna do 3 offers and take a listing tomorrow and make it pay. So
So do you think those fears ever go away?
I think a healthy fear of getting sued is a good thing. I don't want that to go away.
I agree.
Keeps you honest, keeps you detail oriented, keeps you professional. Fear of rejection can, but it's like it's a headspace. It's a headspace
For
thing.
sure,
It's
mindset.
an experience and a headspace kind of thing. Get to the point where you know you're good, and you also get to a point in business where you know that not everybody's your people, and that's okay. I fired my first client this year. They just weren't my people. I was bending over backwards trying to help them out. I know that nobody works harder than me. And they're like, you're working hard enough. Great. That just means I'm not your agent. Have a good life. See you later.
And then that opened him up to have an actual busiest week in your real estate career, because that client is not taking all of your time.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think fear of rejection you can overcome. I don't want
It
to
still hurts.
I don't want to
Like
get
Mikkel's
sure.
saying, the business house, with that listing, it still hurts. But I think that the point of that is every agent is still afraid to make the phone calls. Every agent is still afraid to do the business because of the fear of getting sued, the fear of rejection, all that. You just have to do it anyways. You just have to do it scared and know that we're gonna help you along the way.
I know that it's a numbers game.
Yeah,
Too.
the more people you talk to, the more chances you're gonna have.
Every no means you're one no closer to a yes. Seriously, get the no's out. It's time to hop on the phones. Well, let's go get the no's out so that way we can get to the yeses. I like that.
Yep, for sure. Okay, Dalton has been in the business, he kind of mentioned, just over 3 years. You've been at Keller Williams the whole time. And he grew super fast, even when he wasn't working as SOI, because he was calling strangers. He was
Door knocking initially.
door knocking, yep, and holding open houses. And then when you start to work your database or your SOI or your sphere, it has all kinds of different names. The business actually gets more fun. Like then it's you get to work with people that you know, like, and trust. And the people that know, like, and trust you are gonna hire you. So it's easier to get those people. I think it's more fun to work with my SOI.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to work with the SOI because they're ready to go. You don't have to, you're not gonna build that expertise quite as hard because they are assuming it already. And then it's also fun to still add people to the SOI through
Other
other
lead generating.
lead gen activities. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to go on a listing appointment tomorrow that I picked up yesterday at an open house. Because they're just fun people. They want to buy the house that I had held open, and I have not in 3.5 years gotten to actually bring a buyer to the house that I'm holding open, and get it done. So, today.
But you do get to other transactions off of posting open houses.
Correct. And there's been 2 other times where people. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're hell bent on getting this house, so as long as we can qualify. Their house sold.
Did you guys hear what he said? He held an open house on a Wednesday. People think that they have to be held on Saturdays all the time, but I have good traction at open houses other times as well.
Yeah, another one of the legends in Utah taught me about this. Working man's open house. From 4 to 6 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Great on arterial roads, so right off of arterial roads. You just go litter the arterial with your directional signs.
So that people can get that from coming home from work.
To get the crowd coming home from work, and on Wednesdays, they see the signs, but they're probably busy and probably not gonna stop by, but it's gonna be sitting in the back of their head the next day. When they see him again, they're like, oh, I gotta go check it out.
It's a sign.
It's
open both days.
It's time.
It's a legit sign
Yep.
and it's a sign.
Yeah,
Okay, one thing, well, I love Dalton in the office right next to each other, so that's fun. One of the many things I think is super neat about him is he has really dialed in the value of being a real estate agent, because it's a lot of times so hard to show our value because it's not a tangible thing. I can't be like, here's the best gift, right? We were talking about this earlier, like, here's the best gift, hire me. So our value is like in what we know. We can't show everybody exactly what we know or don't know, because you have all of Keller Williams backing you. So even if you don't know it, you can ask, we're gonna help you. But he's really good at showing his value to people when he's on appointments with them or when he's having conversations with them. I'm sure you've already felt that just from this conversation with him. So hopefully we will tend to work it out.
otherwise I don't get paid. I get paid for this.
Yeah, with my friendship. That's how I pay everyone.
I like it. I like it. Okay. You're running the screen?
No, you are.
I
It's
am.
right here.
I are.
Do I need to? Now you are.
Now I am. Okay. Yep, started off. Okay, all right, so. Guys, let's have a conversation, because me standing up here yapping puts everybody to sleep, right? Also, I'm a little nervous because she really talked me up a lot.
Look at the honesty. He's afraid and he's gonna do it anyways.
That's right. This is the biggest fear. Let's. Try to keep it kind of on what they want me to talk about, but I. Kind of take this and run with it. This is my favorite one to teach, it's my third, fourth time teaching, so. Okay, I'm gonna start with what I want to talk about first.
Love it.
What's the value of a real estate agent? You guys in mind, how would you, what value do you bring as a real estate agent? And there's no wrong answers.
Knowledge of the current market, kind of what's going on, just based on
Okay.
agent's experience.
Market expertise,
The expertise to navigate people through like the biggest financial transactions of their life.
process expertise, like that, fantastic. What up?
Network expertise, you know people, you know lenders and
Right,
other
Right.
people.
The
right.
the network exercise we did earlier pays off, right?
People know people that they probably
There you go, right? Solve some problems through your network abilities, right? Through your vendor systems. Love it. Anything else?
It's their, in a lot of cases, it's their full-time job, all hands on deck. With something that they would be preoccupied probably with their job that they already have and everything else, trying to make sure that whole process goes smoothly when they could have somebody in charge of it from beginning to end.
Got it. Dedicated,
Yeah.
dedicated,
focus.
Service
focus,
provider.
yes. Right, that would have to split their time trying to figure out how to sell a house. Okay. Good, those are good. Any last ones? Okay. I think you hammered a lot of the big ones. I would add things like, ability to negotiate. Right, both on both sides, right? Representing that seller, they want to be top dollar, they represent the buyer, they want the best deal and the best paint, right? Know how to get there, really delivers value. But yeah, really good. I think the biggest thing, you guys are getting started or everybody newish. Okay, so. You're drinking from the fire hose, but as you start to define your value. Think of it not as much as transactional as it is more of, it needs to be. It needs to be more, like if you want to separate yourself, you get to that point where you're sitting down and you're the fourth agent. Interviewing for the listing. If you're like, well, I take great photos and I put a great sign in the yard and I've sold other houses, so I know what I'm doing. Hire me. That doesn't, that's obviously I'm exaggerating slightly, but you guys understand have the vanilla in that and that are a lot of our job, right? People can Google anything, including our job, right? So how do I sell a house? You will get pages of websites and blogs that have that written out pretty well step by step. Does that mean they're gonna do it at a high level? No, but could they stumble through it? Yeah. So what do you do differently? What do you add to it? What value do you bring? Is where you want to get into that. Is where I want you to start thinking as we're talking.
The in-person. Robot.
Robot.
Mhm.
Have some personal touches, right? Make the experience pleasant, right? We're no longer customer service. I want you guys to use, instead of when you talk about customer service, I want you to say customer experience. That's what everybody's about. Customer service means I'm gonna be sitting on a phone trying to get a hold of somebody, probably on hold and really pissed off. Customer experience, however, can be something that I'm excited for and something that I can tell all my friends about, and it can be a sale point for your value, right? Defining your value. What would you say is the difference between value and price?
There's. Like a quote that I heard that I can't remember if it's by, but it's price is what you pay and value is what you get.
That's right in there. That's right in there. That's right in there. Right? Values.
is basically the measured worth and usefulness or importance to the possessor, right? Is this thing functional? What does it do for me? And is it good? Right? Whereas price is literally just the cost at which you obtain something. Okay? So keep that in mind. That being said, how do you justify your price as a real estate agent? And can dictate. And show. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are launching yourselves, if you're not already one from, in some other form, into being an independent contractor, right? You get to work all day for free in hopes that at some point, there's a paycheck down the road.
Yeah.
Right, this is the busiest week of my career, without question. A month ago, I'm not sure I even had a job. Standing in the office, like, guess I'll go get some more water, like, just. It's a roller coaster, the more you work your SOI and the more you have systems and the more you follow a schedule and a routine. The less of a roller coaster it is, but that's somebody else's class. So, yes, you hammered it, it's important for you to be able to dictate your value. So that way you can justify your price. Price is only an issue, talking about favorite quotes. Price is only an issue in the absence of value, right? If you get done talking with somebody about why they should hire you as a realtor, and they are just like, they can't even compute how much they get in value from you, they're gonna be worried about what you charge. A little bit. Not even a little bit. Another fun part of the SOI world is, again, they already see your value. And so it's real, I went on my first listing appointment not too long ago, where I didn't even talk about how much I charge. They didn't care, they're ready to go. Bring the paperwork out, let's get this thing going. Can you get our household? Yeah, I'm real confident I can. Okay, cool, let's go. It was the shortest listing appointment I've ever been on, and the most bizarre, because I'm a very high C numbers, and I want to tell you everything. And I need you to know as much as I know, and I need you to know that I know what I know. I'm one of those people, and so for them to just inherently trust that I know what I know, and to take them through their transaction and their experience, and come out the other side with most money in their pocket and a positive story to tell their friends, like. Wow. Highly recommend that you be able to dictate it. So, when should you be willing to cut your price? Might be a trick question. No, never. Right? Don't drop your price, increase your value. Don't drop your price, increase your value. Okay, that being said, if you're charging an outrageous price, then you better be bringing a lot of value, but. At some point, somebody is going to say, okay, well, yeah, but you know, another agent's going to do it for less. Which when I look at people and I say, they're not gonna do what I do for less money, because they wouldn't be in business. What I do costs money, that's why I charge what I charge.
Understand your worth.
Understand your worth, be able to dictate it, because we all understand our worth. I think to a greater or lesser extent, but we have to be able to explain it
Make them
with
understand.
minor amounts of arrogance, right? Minimal amounts of arrogance. And remember, value is also subjective. I think that's one of the toughest parts about value. Different people are worried about different things. And so really you have to be able to find your, well, my opinion is you find your core principles, the true values that you bring, the stuff that your natural personality and work ethics highlight, and turn that into a story that you can give the person sitting across the table from you trying to decide if they're going to hire you, that you can connect with them on a value that's mutually important. When you can do that, charge whatever you want. They won't even ask. I've been there now. I didn't think it was actually a thing. I've been there now. So. Person who tells their story best wins. It's another. One that I like to remind myself of. Frequently. Okay. So that being said, let's jump in to. The stuff I'm supposed to talk about. What's a value proposition, right? Don't memorize this stuff quite as well. So I'm just gonna read to you. It is a unique, memorable, and persuasive statement that expresses the true value of working with you. Right? I already had this conversation with the succinct roundup. It addresses the specific and special needs of the buyer and sellers in your market. So. Not a hard question now. Are there different, do you have different types of value propositions? Right, because does the buyer care how much money you make them?
Well, but in savings, right?
There you go,
In
right?
discount.
Yes, and it's different words, and those different words are gonna be used at different times, right? The value proposition is gonna say what you will do for your client, to earn your commission. It helps to hold you accountable to high standards. Here in a second, I'll pass my buyer proposition around. I have one for buyers, I have one for sellers. They're both built off of 4 principles called my 3 C's. Top agents can easily explain what services they will provide to anyone who hires them. You ready to have that conversation confidently, clearly? And confidently again, because if you believe you can do it, they'll believe you can do it. So. Benefits of a value proposition. Again, a little bit redundant here, but helps your clients understand your value and your expertise. Which is important in getting business for sure. Build strong and trusting relationships, also good and important. But for me, the biggest thing is. I know how hard I work, I know what I bring. I don't cut commission, I know what I charge, that doesn't work for them. And I feel they have a firm grasp of what it is that I do. I've now just been like, you can go find another agent who I'm sure will do a great job for you as well, because I'm confident in where I'm at, and I also know how much I need to work. Know how much I need to make for me to make sense, putting the kind of time and energy and resources into each and every client that I do, right? Okay. So let's take a quick look at some value proposition examples. Some of these I love, some of them are a little. I love less. Slack is probably my favorite. Slack makes it downright pleasant to work together. Right? What value do you, well, what if work was fun? What if working as a group wasn't a confusing befuddled mess? Anybody ever work with Microsoft Teams? I'd rather hang myself. I'd rather be homeless under a bridge. Like, it's not worth working if I have to use Microsoft Teams. Slack, it's not bad. I don't mind it. Right? And it very, like, I like the simpler propositions. Not that they can't be more powerful, but or longer. Long ones can be powerful as well, but I just feel like if you can keep it to a sentence, maybe 2. I mean, we live in a fast-paced, short attention span society, so send invoices in minutes and get paid 2 days faster.
QuickBooks sucks.
I completely agree. Yep. Stay form, here to help life go right. Yep. I like it when life goes right, right? Who doesn't want life to go right? Nobody, so obviously I need State Farm, right? It's a no-brainer. And I mean, true value propositions, in my opinion, most people, yeah, the average, it should be a no-brainer when you talk with them about your value proposition. Well, of course, I want to sell my house for top dollar the fastest I possibly can with the fewest interruptions, surprises, or inconveniences. So let's go, right? obviously that's what I want. Where do I sign? Right? So. Connecting to your value. Okay, yeah. I can put it right. You guys are newer agents. So. I'm in your shoes. I remember being terrified, and part of the reason I never worked with my SOI out the gates, because I'm scared, I was scared, I'll say it. Is, all of my SOI knew that I hadn't been an agent, right? Knew I was a brand new agent, right? That's a real thing when you're first new. So. Use this. Yeah, I'm new, but you know what I'm doing? I was in this class the other day. By the way, did I tell you I'm taking this class where I'm in, how many hours is it? Do you know that number?
20.
At least 20 to 40 hours, embellish a little, it's okay. It's all right, you study at home too, right? 40 hours worth of class on top of, beyond getting my license, so that way I really know what to do. We have a fantastic coach who is there tomorrow. We have 2 brokers. Most brokerages only have 1 and they never answer their phone. We have 2 that answers their phone. I've got more support than I know what to do with, and I get to listen to top producers, give me all their secrets. So like, I'm armored up, let's go. Know what I'm doing, right? Use the market center, use it. I still use it. I'm not good like Mikel. I got to lean on our numbers, get stuff done. The other thing is you're a fiduciary. Who knows what that means? You know what that terminology yet?
We did last time.
Yeah, still a broker drop coming. Maybe horrible.
Broker drop means they kicked you out. Brokerage.
Fiduciary versus beneficiary.
I can't remember the wording of how we said it.
I'll take the general idea.
I think it's just somebody authorized to use a client's money on behalf of them, or like help a client with financial transactions on behalf of them.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah,
Essentially, you're going to work on somebody else's behalf and their interests come before your own. Is probably the simplest way to make them. Okay.
Did you- I sent the email that has the old car acronym. Didn't Eden talk about that last night? No,
I don't remember the.
old car.
Old car.
It's like all the fiduciary duties.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Obedience, loyalty, disclosure.
Any other duties required by law or reasonable care. So it's in the email recap that I sent you
Okay.
guys on Tuesday, and I sent both of you it today.
Oh, okay. I was just looking up. I love it.
Love it. Resources. Another value you bring, right? You have resources. Resources. Feeling British tonight. Okay.
He's had a long week, you guys.
Yeah, I am running on fumes and Monster energy drinks at this point. So yeah, you are a fiduciary. What other types of professions are fiduciaries?
Attorneys
Boom.
and financial planners.
Fantastic. Right?
Love it, you guys paid attention. last night,
Absolutely.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So the fact that you are a fiduciary, that your interests come after your clients, right? Your clients' interests are of priority over your own. Being able to explain, I mean, little pro tip, have this fiduciary conversation with the clients that you're sitting down with. I don't know your name, sorry. Kaizen, I'm excited to get to work with, do you know what a fiduciary is? And of course, 99% of people go, no, you're like, okay, let me explain to you, because I'm actually a fiduciary on your behalf, right? I'm expected to be obedient, loyal, provide a full disclosure, card.
Oh, I can help you. What are you at? Confidentiality?
Confidentiality, and I'm gonna be, I'm doing a terrible job at it, but I don't usually get into the 6s, but basically it just means that your interests are of a higher priority than your own, and what that means is you're going to get what you need, on behalf of me. Does that sound like something you'd want?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, fantastic.
And if you guys are struggling remembering the fiduciary They are in the listing contract and the buyer contract.
They are, and that's honestly, when I'm going through that, that's where I cover it, and then I just read upside down.
Mhm.
Because the principles are here, I just don't have the, but I like old car, that'll help me actually. That anagram,
Acronym.
acronym? Okay. Okay, and then obviously, yeah, we kind of already touched on, if you're that market expert, you can display that. And then, and here's where a lot of people, in my opinion, miss value. The other person, you have to explain it. Explain why what you're saying matters to the other person. Right? I'm a market expert. They're like, congratulations, you want a gold star? No, I'm a market expert. The way that helps me is I know how to, I know how many days is on market, how it should be here, and so we're talking about buyer. So this one's been on 3 times as long, probably willing to take less and maybe see offers that they weren't originally. So maybe we could get you a deal. Should you check that out? Right? I want to save you money. I want to get you that deal. Like, you have to make it matter to them. My number one, like, I have to physically restrain my outsides from just doing the biggest idle ever is when somebody's like, oh my gosh, I would love to help you sell your home. And it's like, yes, we all would. That's what we do for a living. Tell me more about why you think you should, or if you'd love to sell my home, tell me why that matters to me, the client, right? Back to that, value is subjective. The best, have a value proposition. It's gonna do 90% of the lifting, but to really deliver it home and make that connection, you're gonna want to ask some questions to find out what's important to the person with whom you're speaking. Right? If you're not doing that, you're gonna tell somebody a story that doesn't connect with them from time to time. And the why do I care is gonna be this giant wall that's gonna be hard to get over. But if you can ask a few questions, get into that, what are they concerned about? What's their biggest worry, fear, objective, right? And be able to speak towards that and how what you do lends value to that target or helps them avoid something, right? Pleasure versus pain, things that motivate people. You can connect those things together. Things move a lot faster and a lot easier. Okay? I've beaten this to death and I'm doing okay. All right?
Yeah.
All right. I want to bring you guys some value. I'd love to bring you some value.
Would love to teach you about
All right. Oh, here's all the answers that I just talked out of my armpit on. All right. So purposes of real estate, right? Buyers. How do we build this? What time are we wanting to end?
7:35,
Cool.
and we have a cushion for.
I'll be, wait a minute, okay? We already, I don't know, again, I've already touched on this, right? We have 2 different conversations. We have conversations with buyers, we have conversations with sellers. There will be times where we have conversation with somebody who needs to sell so that they can buy, and you want to be able to do the sell and the buy, right? So that's. But just remember to tone your conversation, tune your conversation to the audience in front of you, right? Buyers, their goal is to find just the right home at the best price and the right time with the least number of problems. Like, if you have an office at home, this would be something to put on the wall as a reminder. Sellers, their goal is to net the most money in the shortest amount of time with the least number of problems. Does anybody see a common ground between those two?
who wants problems.
Nobody wants problems. So if you were to build a basic value proposition, what do you think you might talk a little bit about?
You won't have any problems.
Beautiful. Okay. Love it. And then you better be ready to deliver and explain them, right? And yeah. Okay, good. Service areas of the buyer value proposition. This is something you definitely have in your books. What I'm going to encourage you to do is understand, right, this is the process, and we're not transactional agents, we're fiduciaries, we are here to serve and we bring value to the table, right? So here's a transaction, where in here do you shine and can convey that value to a buyer? That's kind of your homework, right? I don't know if that's actually your homework, I just made that up. Listen to Allison, she actually knows your homework. I'm gonna pass around my buyers. Value proposition. It's simplistic. You're welcome to take photos of it, copy it to the word. I
I think we wanna complicate it, And-
super bad.
buyers want it simple. They wanna know that we're gonna give them a simple, problem-free process, but if it looks complex, they think problems.
Yeah, 100%. Sellers,
Sellers are the same.
same thing, right? I get back to the fewer surprises and headaches I have, the better, right? I run you'll see it, I run on 3 Cs, and one of them is convenience, right? And that is the word that means easy, right? We have stores that are like easy stores, that I go here, I get gas, I get drinks, I get food, I can get Band-Aid, whatever, it's just right there, and it's why do I pay extra for these things? It's convenient, right? So if you can take just that, I mean, it's super simple. Now word it out and make it your own, but take that idea and make it into your value proposition. People literally every day are willing, are displaying the fact that they will pay extra if it's convenient. Anything. Right? You pay $120 a year. To have. Somebody bring you things that you used to have to go to the store and buy and drop it on your porch, right? That's a bad example, because technically it's really financially intelligent too, but it's stupid, but they're not selling, I mean, do you save money? Yeah, absolutely, but are they selling on saving money really anymore? Do you price check Amazon? No, it's just freaking convenient. You know why I eat Little Caesars pizza when it's pizza night? Not because it's good pizza, but that stupid app makes 3 taps, that thing's gonna be ready in 8 minutes. Like, I hate myself every time I do it. I hate myself. It is.
So simple. It's like why In-N-Out is so successful.
Yeah.
Because it's not complicated.
It's not complicated. They save hey, fat guy, last time you were here, you ordered this. You wanna order it again? Yeah, yeah. One more tap, please. Tap. That'll be ready in 8 minutes. Fantastic. Absolutely. But that is that level of convenience. That is that level of convenience. Okay, what do buyers want most from their agents? Also, I know this is something you have access to, so I don't want to beat it to death.
And these go
But
out in the email, the
this-
copy of these slides.
Yep, 100%. The one that still blows my mind is in today's market, they want help finding the right home. Right? Think about that for just a second, because I have 75 apps on here that I can scroll around and look like 3 different user interfaces that I love and 12 more that I don't really use much, right? I need help finding the right home to purchase. So they're not getting what they need out of this, if this is the biggest reason they think they need a real estate agent. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. But I want you to take that idea and I want you to be like, okay, how do I add value to what they're after, right?
Do you guys
Please.
let's test them. So we talked about some of our technology and some of the things that the office offers to you right now. Can you guys think of something that would help them find the right home to purchase? Help the buyer?
Like a resource.
Mhm.
And I bet they're selling in that Utah real estate. You could search up.
Yep, you can search for homes on there for them. And then anything else?
You're thinking KW technology?
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
and Utah Real Estate, you have access to help them find the homes. Utah Real Estate is faster than Zillow or faster than these other big websites to getting the information accurate and up to date. But KW also has technology that will help you.
Are we still
Done.
getting quiz right now?
Yeah.
I.
Was that a question?
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It's just like when that program where you're essentially like. Selecting the physical area and then it will give you just an itemized everything that they want to know about that area. I don't remember what it's called, but.
Yeah, well, and if you send your branded app, right? Then they think it's you helping them find a home, even though they're searching on your app.
Give them this, that satisfaction of finding it.
Yeah,
And you guys are coming in at a wonderful time in that some of the functionality of the KW app is now something that the back end works. Originally, they're like, have your people use it and they'll like stuff and you can just see it on your end. And that was a little bit of an oversell out the gates, but I can now show you that it does work and it's pretty neat. I can't wait there for the next iteration where, you know, it comes with some ability to like, you know, to make it simpler than just what is a list of addresses. But for now, I'll take it because it's really, really cool. When they like something, when they add something to the list, I get a notification. You know, the only one I've actually had it work with here recently, they're very active buyers, so there's like 22 of them, blah, 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 blah. But for what I call your kind of your lurkers, your fence sitters, the ones that are not super active, if every time they looked at a home, I knew about it, I think I could get deals done a little faster because they're obviously looking, so maybe we have a conversation each time that happens, right? So, not necessarily a value thing, but value to you. And yeah, so anyways, if they're gonna search on apps, completely agree. At this point, get them using the KW app, your KW app, because if nothing else, when they open it up, every time they open it up, there's your face looking back at them.
one is you giving them a place to search for homes, cause,
And if they're searching on Zillow, they're gonna get called by Zillow agents, so.
and I'm gonna sell their information.
That's right. Correct. Okay, sorry. 7, here we go. Yeah, all right, factory buyers, yeah, factors, buyers value when using an agent. Favorite other. So just bring other to the table and you'll be killing it.
Which is the biggest piece of my.
Agent is trustworthy and honest.
Do you know how many non-trustworthy, honest agents are out there? A lot.
Too many.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not even in a deceptive kind of way that.
Yeah, maybe not
They're
intentionally.
not intentionally, but they say they're agents and they do a transaction every 18 months, and so. Them telling you that they know how to create a, you know, worry-free, problem-free experience from beginning to end is literally lying because they don't know, you know, as soon as they're under contract. They're coming to their broker being like, okay, how do I do this again? Right? Whereas agents that do this 6 days a week, I don't need help. I'm really truly the person. I'm not just the puppet in front of you, right? Agent's experience and reputation of agent. Okay, so same idea. Take these things and start to build yourself a value proposition, because if you can do that, you can dictate it. You can protect your commission, earn more business. And serve your clients at a high level. I mean, that's the other part too. You're gonna create this, you're gonna create your value proposition, you're gonna have things that go with it that really bring the experience and help people. Everybody's in, you're just fine. Everybody's in this for a different reason. I came from another industry before real estate, or what I did. I mean, it was very, very niche. So there was no commonality or practicality to anyone else's engineered piping solutions. Real exciting conversation to have with average guy, right? Whereas everyone needs a place to live. So one of my favorite parts about real estate is I can help anybody, right? Do we help renters? I'm happy to help a renter. I mean, I have a network of 250-ish agents just in this building that a lot of them have a rental portfolio. And they're looking for rent, you know, people to rent. And so when I come across renters, yeah, give me your information. I'll shoot it around to a few people. Right? Any skin off my back? No. And what might that lead to in the business? They're in the future. Business, right? All right. Bring in your value. It comes in different forms. I'm gonna keep moving so that way you guys can go home tonight. We'll get way ahead of ourselves. There we go. Ahas. Anything so far? Give me one or two that just blow your mind.
I liked when you're talking about like finding the parts of the process that you are absolutely excellent in and pitching that. Cause last time we talked about like our strengths and weaknesses and highlighting your strengths and like delegating or like seeking support for your weaknesses. So if I'm really good at negotiating, but not super good with the paperwork, then I can pitch like, I am the best negotiator for you on your behalf that you will find.
Beautiful.
And I don't have to tell them about it, but I can tell them that I'm like the best.
And you can
at this,
hire someone
best
else
at
for the
this.
paperwork.
I'm great at negotiating. I spend my time working on your behalf, so much so that I have a team that runs my paperwork for me, so that way we know it's on time, so I'm focused on the negotiator, right? Oh my God, he's bringing a team. I only have to pay this much and he's got a whole team behind him. Man, what a deal. Where do I sign? Right?
Any others?
What else? Give me one more.
Were you guys listening?
I liked
The brains just all over the ceiling.
I liked at the beginning, just knowing, you know, like. The fear of rejection's still a thing that you gotta kind of get over sometimes on a daily basis, cause I was in sales for quite a while and then I got out of sales partly for that reason, you know,
Yep.
but that was very true in my experience, just it's kind of just what you tell yourself every day, and some days it really is just a mindset that you kind of woke up on the right side of the bed that day and it comes easier, but other days it's like, man, the first no that you get kind of deflates you, and that's something that's gonna be big for me, so I appreciate that.
And one thing that helps with that, I don't know if you've done like gamified it at all, but I had gamified it a ton when I was a hardcore cold caller, like is how I started in the business in door knocker. But really I started cold calling. I didn't know any different. Like that's what I thought our job was.
Call center.
Yeah. And so I would wake up like with an affirmation in the morning. Well, and this isn't an affirmation, but with a saying in the morning, like who's got my money? And every no, I'd be like, it's not you. Is it the next person? Is it the next person? Like who has my next paycheck for me? And that helped me gamify it. I did like tally marks with like how many no's does it take to get a yes? How what, and if it's taking too many, like am I not asking deep enough questions? But there's all kinds of stuff we can do to gamify it to make it like rejection almost fun. As weird as that sounds.
It's my version of that was door knocking with a partner, right? Because the rejection's a lot more fun when you can both walk away and be like, what a jerk.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not saying jerk, but since this is recorded and I'm in public, I have to say jerk. Right? But no, it truly is. I mean, you get to a point where you know, knock on a door, start talking with somebody, and he just a grumpy old man, and he throws a hissy fit and slams the door in your face. And you're like, that's an adult. You just laugh and move off to move on to the next one. And it's not a bad thing. And so you can gamify that. I mean, honestly, on the phones, it's a hang up game. I'm going to keep talking until that person either agrees to meet with me or hangs up on me. And what's cool about that game is either way you win. Right? Either way you win. They hung up.
I even have a little argument. They're in my
Is
drawer
that
now.
right?
Do you remember? I have the argument all over my desk and I flick one off. every time I have contact. Even if I had to call my SOI, if I had to make 20 phone calls that day, I was flicking the argument off my desk.
All right, so how to go about doing this? 3 steps to define your value proposition. Identify your knowledge, strengths, attitudes, skills, beliefs that make you qualified to be a great real estate agent. Right? Transform the value you provide and the value of AW in your market center into benefits for your clients. Again, so that's the very kind of uttered sentence that says it doesn't matter what you do unless it matters to them. Right? If you can't connect the dots for them, it's gonna be bumpy. It's not gonna be bumpy. You'll fall into transactions from time to time, but you'll convert at a lot higher rate if you can ask a few questions and really deliver the right story and the right value to that person. Okay, and some people are better at it than others, and I'm still like, I'm finally asking questions. Took me 3.5 years, but I'm finally asking questions. So, and then build your value proposition statement. Mine was at the top of that sheet. In a sense, right? You're gonna know what's going on, or we know what's going on, and when you work with us, you're gonna know what's going on too. I got into this largely just, my agent wasn't terrible to help me buy my first home, but the whole time I felt like I had no idea what was going on. There was zero communication. Well, okay, so it's not apparent. I'm pretty good at talking, and you know, I can set up a couple of simple systems where I make sure that at just this simple. Every time I talk with a client, I end with what's happening next. Right? Set an expectation of what's going to happen, then do it. It's important to do the follow through on that, right? But just that simple bit alone, I'm just being like, I don't even know what to expect. I'm just sitting here waiting to find out. Maybe I have a house, maybe I don't know. Right? Terrible feel. So communication is one of my 3 C's. Okay, be able to tell that story. So 3 same things over again. Value proposition role play, man, we killed it. You want me to spend any more time on building that value proposition? Because I've kind of given it in drips throughout the day, or throughout the hour.
Have any of you guys worked with a real estate agent before? So do you have like one positive thing and one negative thing you could say about them? About not them, about the transaction, about how they handled it for you?
So I think like the negative was like I had to do a lot of the looking, like myself. She gave me access to Utah real estate,
Mhm.
but I found the house on my own. I was like, hey, I need this appointment this day. But the great thing I did like about her is out of 25 people that put in an offer, and even higher than we did for our home, they picked us because of the way she wrote the offer and the way she talked about us. And so that was like something that really stuck out with me, that she even read it back to me, and it took us a long time to get our home, but it was definitely worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I can speak towards that, like, on the buy side, ask your clients if they like searching on their own, or if they'd like your help doing it. Because I've made assumptions and I've been wrong. Right? You can't just assume that if they're under like 35, that all they want to do is use apps and that they don't need you. Bad thing to assume. Also, don't assume that if they're over 65, that they don't know how to work apps and they need you to do it. Right? Don't make an ass of you and me, right? Don't assume. Ask that question because it is, I mean, you saw that, right? They want help finding homes. And that can mean just simply setting them up with, oh, great, I have a banging app that'll work, and then we can see I can see what you're doing on it, what you're liking, and blah, blah, blah. Is that the right place to go? Or they're gonna be like, I don't know, we're looking, you know, can I go door knock some neighborhoods? Is there an area specifically? Are you after like some off-market properties? What do you want me to do to help you find that home specifically? Make them get specific. Otherwise, you have to just kind of fill in the blanks with your imagination. Okay. Should have a great wrap up.
Well, I can help you.
Okay, yeah, please. Bring it home.
We talked on Tuesday, and when we did our role play on Tuesday, we talked about like what is the benefit of you guys being a new agent? Like how can you compete against an experienced existing agent? So, and that was that you have the time and the dedication to them, and they're gonna be your sole focus, right? It's like your little baby bird. Like you're gonna make sure that can fly out of that nest into the new home. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. But and then for homework, I do want you guys to go ask some either friends or family members that have worked with an agent, kind of like we were talking about earlier, Kyson, like, even if it wasn't recent, like yours was just like a month ago or something. But even if it's been a long time, ask like 3 people what the pros of their realtor was and what the cons were. And then you can kind of build your value proposition around that as well.
Yeah, match the things people like with skill sets that you have
Mhm.
in with the steps involved in, you know, bringing a client from where they're at to where they want to be in the real estate world, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
For them.
Any questions?
I just had a comment, like, it does make it, like, I've seen it both ways, cause I did have a real estate agent who did nothing for me. I'm gonna say it like she did nothing for me, but then I went out and I like, it makes a difference, like, if you're that person that does like, like everything you possibly can to get them into like their first home, their forever home, their investment home, like it really does make a difference, and like you said, communication is key. Because I've had both, and trust me, the one that I used for my house was amazing.
One of the things that I was thinking right now when you were talking was, maybe the other agent did stuff for you, but they didn't communicate with you, so you thought they were doing nothing.
Well, yeah,
I mean, maybe they did nothing too, but that's why communicating with your clients on that consistent basis. I know you have like the 10 days. They hear from you every day
Yeah.
for 10 days.
Your total transaction? You bet.
Yeah, so because that's what happens is
Yeah.
we aren't telling them what we're doing, they think we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
well, also like information wise, like, one of the things you put up there for like buyers is like the pre-qualification, she kept changing our pre-qualification. And so it was like, I'm talking to your lender and they're telling you this, but you're telling me this, and like changing it up on me. Whereas when I went and changed agents, I also went and changed lenders, and it was a whole nother story. So that does make a difference, and like,
Yeah, get a good lender on your real estate team with you, like have a great connection. Well, yeah, you have to have a good one.
You don't, but I'm telling you, not everybody gets a look, like, there's different personalities in the lending world, different lenders have different strengths and weaknesses as well. It takes a little while to get there, get one, that's a good, starting point. But, I mean, I have a lender sheet at this point, 3 people that
That's fine.
I propose that they work with. And I just hand it to them, and I get thank you texts from lenders when my clients just reach out to the lender, right? Cool. Any other questions, guys?
Comments, anything?
Moderately valuable.
Great.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. And just like Mikkel, yeah, I'm in the back corner. I'm an open book. If you have questions or problems or issues or whatever. KW helped get me to where I'm at. Paying it back and happy to do it, and appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you.
And that's really with all the instructors teaching this, these is because they sat through these classes as new agents and then they grew into teaching them. So it's pretty awesome. So next Tuesday, the 18th, we'll meet again. We're gonna learn about lead generation and growing our database with Jessica.
That's who I door knock with.
Yeah.
Say all sorts of nasty things about me.
And even. Okay, so we'll see you guys on Tuesday. And then let me know, I'll send a recap email to you guys right now about tonight's thing with some homework items. And there's a link to the book, the whole book on that very first email that I just sent you guys too, so you can hold up to choose. Hopefully you guys are having fun in here.
Yeah, it's great.
It's kind of a little mind blowing. It is boot camp, remember?
Allison, you still plan on, we're going to part 2 tomorrow with 11 we still.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'll see you Friday. Are you sitting with her? On Friday, are you sitting with her?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay, I'm not either, I'm in the grass,
I think we are too, actually.
and she has seeds,
So I might see him on,
so we'll see you Friday, maybe.
right? Possibility. I'm good with.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.